And the best answers, people with intermediate questions, are just about the CMA. So that's actually a really good thing. And that's why I like the developer questions are best answered by slightly better. Because they know, and they've been through it recently, and they know it's hard. You know, like the people who are really experienced, it's like just do blah, 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 blah. It's simple. No.
This is a demonstration of Ustream Producer.
No, so it's I think the form is so important.
There's so many other areas. I mean, outside the forum.
When's the forum going to get updated so we don't have to have a separate account for it?
Single sign-on being updated, that's about single sign-on. Yeah.
I never go to the forum anymore because I can't remember that many accounts.
Just to remember me.
I go to the mailing list on Google.
This is a demonstration of Ustream Producer.
To remember me is, I mean, I didn't have to log in for like 4 years or something.
And then you got a new computer?
Yeah, or something, yeah.
I rebuild my computer every 6 months. Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So the forum is great because it's low barrier to entry, and the best people are the people, you know, whatever forum you're usually asking questions in is also the best place to answer questions. So
I think one of the areas
This is a demonstration of Ustream Producer.
that needs the most help, besides the bugs and everything like that, is the documentation. That's something that, you know, we focus so much on building the software and debugging it and testing it and make sure it's good, and then we release it, and people ask questions and we don't have documentation to point them to, because we just focus so much time on building it, and that's so. I think we underestimate how incredibly important just.
This is a
having
demonstration
good
of Ustream
that's
Producer.
important. I don't think anybody underestimates how important it is. That doesn't mean they do it.
Are you
Right.
talking
Every
about?
single person will say it's documentation, really important.
Are you talking about the user documentation or the technical documentation?
Both, but technical documentation we're pretty good on at this point.
Yeah.
We have in the platform we have 100% doc logs, everything's accurate, the comments are good, and nothing gets in without meeting that standard. In the CMS.
This is a demonstration of Ustream Producer.
Moving in that direction, but the doc logs are missing on huge numbers of things. And Andy and I were talking about as we were struggling with updating some of even the layouts for Bootstrap, that, you know, it would be nice if there was occasionally a comment in a layout why you're doing it in this way, because you can't. You know,
Some things that are really sort of weird,
and there are ways, and you know there is a reason for that. So it's like we could be documenting.
This is a
that
demonstration
lot
of
better.
Ustream
And
Producer.
then just all like the CMS, like all the helper files and stuff like that. A lot of them they're not documented. They don't have doc logs, and that's frustrating. We should be able to run PHP Documenter on the CMS just like we run it on the platform and get the
How do you sign up for documents to do documentation?
Just show up. You don't need to sign up. Just register. Well, there's a documentation mailing list, which, see, I said this at the last Joomla day too. We need to link it from the developer site.
This is
We
a
need to add that
demonstration
to the
of
developer
Ustream
site.
Producer.
Sign up for it. So there's documentation, but Chris Davenport manages the documentation team. So, and you can email him or ping him on Skype.
And that's another one that's a very low, I mean, just about anybody. Again, you know, who's better to document a very simple process, or what should be a simple process, than somebody that is at a relatively simpler level.
Well, that's user docs.
Right,
But,
right, obviously.
But actually developer docs too, because we need, we're beginning to converse, and then we need more complicated.
This is a
Well, then we have
demonstration
the
of
automatic
Ustream
generation
Producer.
for the, you know, people who know more about Joomla. But you can just register, anybody can register on the wiki and start writing documentation. The first thing, my first job in Joomla, besides just answering questions on the forum, was writing FAQs for Joomla 1. And that was like great, because you learn so much. The other thing is, you know, we have the help pages, help screens, right? Help screens are fantastic.
This is a demonstration
Those
of
are-
Ustream
We're
Producer.
getting ready to release 3.0, and they're only about 40% done
What is
in a week.
What is 60%? Is that
10 screens or 100 screens or?
There's 118 screens altogether.
Okay. So
If
another
one person
70.
grabs one screen,
Except we're still changing.
no, but the majority of things are actually working.
So I got the business through there.
Right. So that may not mean something like
definitely
that.
have business out there, definitely.
Yeah, and that so that's another.
This is a
that's not really
demonstration
contributing
of
to the
Ustream
Joomla project per
Producer.
se, but it's contributing to you, and it's contributing to other Joomla users.
Contributing to the
No,
Joomla community.
Exactly.
It's contributing to the Joomla community, and sometimes people need professionals, and they need to find the right match, and so actually it's good for, it's really good for webmaster, for end users, too, to be able to go there, so it works for both.
Also, the showcase is a good place to
Yes, I was
Yes,
gonna
I was
mention
going to
that.
say that, too.
I've been editor of the showcase for a few years.
And I've seen
Right.
some really cool
So-
sites out
sorry
there,
if
but I
you
wish
know
we'd get in the
about it,
showcase.
It's a little overwhelming.
No.
The community.
This is a
showcase,
demonstration
well,
of Ustream
let's
Producer.
give a little history. The old showcase, the only place that there really was a forum board where you could go and sort of share your latest creation and people would comment on it. And that was really useful. I think that's still there, right?
Some version of it.
Okay, so they created a directory. It was, I think, in 2009 is when it got launched. And I jumped on as a volunteer. I tried to get in as quick as I could to help out with that. And I think we have a few thousand sites there now. And they're all categorized by, about
This is a
80 different categories.
demonstration
So,
of Ustream Producer.
Or, sports team sites, that kind of type of stuff. You can take a screenshot of your site and write a little case study and a little description of your site.
Great.
Submit it, and then we go through and we take all the spam sites out of there, obviously. We try to sift and sort. And some sites aren't interesting enough to put on the showcase, so we don't put them there. And we used to do like a site of the month, and now we just sort of do like a featured site because it was kind of tough to keep up with that. It was a volunteer group, so. And we're also looking for people who want
This
help.
is a demonstration of Ustream Producer.
Where's the site of the month? Where's the site
Yes.
of the month?
I'm
And
so
it was
sorry
like-
that the site of the month is actually really good for the sites. Like
It was.
some of those sites were getting like 25,000 hits like right away. Like just amazing traffic. Even just the general sites that are listed there get a fair amount of traffic. I've had a few sites that are listed there. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
You just get it out there. Just sort of write about what extensions you use and what worked, what didn't work, and
Do you have like a forum, like Beyonce does?
the forum.
This is a demonstration of Ustream Producer.
Beyonce has a system that you put in your software.
Well, the form is pretty simple. Like the name of your site and like your name, your email, just like there's like two
You
fields.
write the
But you
paragraph.
could make it look like Beyonce if you had it with that.
Well, I think I don't know, it's pretty good.
It's all right. It's using Moses Tree,
Yeah.
fairly customized version. It's most of Joomla sites are
This
still,
is a
Joomla
demonstration
are still
of
on
Ustream Producer.
I mean,
They're
definitely there's a
moving.
lot of direction.
The magazine just switched to 2.5.
Okay, yeah.
We used this last week.
Developers,
Very progressive.
And developers 2.5.
Yep.
And something else, is it Joomla, that's
Yeah.
the main site.
We definitely need help.
How do I get my contact?
I can give you my card and we can just, you have Skype, I'm sure, right? But Skype is a big tool in Joomla community.
Yeah, it's huge.
Everybody's using Skype. Call each other and complain about stuff and yell at each other. We get these big groups and we, it's
Joomla
fun.
pizza.
This
right
is a
now,
demonstration
have
of
a-
Ustream
There's even
Producer.
like some Joomla chit chat. There's just like real casual Joomla groups that people are in on Skype. And, sometimes there's 30, 40 people in them, and sometimes there's hundreds of people in these groups. Yeah. Other groups I'm in, only 2, 3 people, or 5 or 6 people. It varies. So.
Yeah, but it's for whatever reason, Joomla ended up kind of focusing on Skype as its
Right.
main.
I'm not sure there's any really strong alternatives, are there?
No.
Yeah,
That's the
IRC
problem.
is the only one that's
Yeah.
suggested.
Yeah,
And that just has,
IRC.
This is a
Some
demonstration
people
of
have used,
Ustream
We used
Producer.
IRC, but that was in the
That's,
90s. So.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to go back and see
Jabber.
history on it.
Yeah,
You have to
yeah.
find out.
Some open source projects use Jabber, but it's like,
Oh, dude.
we don't want to run a Jabber server. I mean, that's the thing. Part of it is that people, with Skype, it's unfortunately proprietary software, so it's not ideal
It's owned by
from our
Microsoft.
perspective.
Which is horrible because you can't add your own emoticons and stuff like that. It's really bad.
But you can do, but it's,
This is a
it
demonstration
is
of
maintained
Ustream
by
Producer.
a third party, so it means we don't have to maintain it. Whereas in you know, probably in the first months of Joomla, they would have just said, oh, let's just run our own Jabber server. Let's run our own. It's like, no, we need to focus on the core things that we need to achieve, not get sidetracked by like 20,000 projects. So, I mean, that's actually one reason the project has remained successful, is that it's kind of pulled away from trying to do every
This
single
is a
function.
demonstration
That's
of
even the way
Ustream
GitHub,
Producer.
Instead of saying, I mean, we're still on, it's still SVN, but it's like the maintenance now, when we are fully on GitHub, it's like now we don't have to have a huge amount of project resources spent on maintaining the repository. We can just use the repository. So, I mean, there's there's downsides of offsite, but it's the big upside is that, you know, Sam doesn't have to maintain GitHub. Sam has to maintain.
This is a demonstration of Ustream Producer.
The best use of Sam's time in terms of moving the platform and CMS forward.
And then, of course, the other way is, one of the other ways is the Joomla Bug Squad, either as, you know, being on it officially, which, again, is not just coders. That can be people who are doing the testing as well.
Administration is really good because, you know, a lot of coders like me don't have the patience to push
This
patches
is a demonstration
through.
of
Somebody
Ustream
else can go in
Producer.
and look at those things and say, test them and say, okay, here's the feedback.
Right.
Get your button gear.
I send Gary emails, please code style, please code style.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, each patch, each thing that goes into Joomla requires at least 3 people. You know, you have to have somebody to write it, and you need 2 people to test it at least.
And then somebody who commits it. But
Right, right.
Yeah, and it's often, a lot of times it's more because you'll have somebody who just finds it and puts it up there.
This
And
is
then
a
we have another
demonstration
group
of
people, and these are all
Ustream
sort of
Producer.
self-selected, who can go through it and look and say, oh, somebody reported this, let me go check and see if I can confirm it, and then they
Right.
mark it as confirmed. And then people who actually want to do coding can look through and find all the confirmed ones, and those are the ones that they would make patches on. And then it turns into pending. And if somebody's interested in testing things to see if something actually worked, they look at the ones that are under pending. And we need at least 2 successful
This is a
tests,
demonstration of
in order
Ustream
to
Producer.
let it progress further. And let's say that it passes those 2 successful tests, turns into ready to commit, and then the committers take over and actually do some more code review kinds of things and do the commit. But all of that first part, you know, that's a number of people with different skill sets that can go ahead and do it. We have currently right now probably, how many on the page would you say?
This is a demonstration
Okay, so
of
we have about
Ustream Producer.
125, I haven't looked at it recently, but about 125 pending issues for 3.0, which means there's
Code already there.
125 things that we have found are a problem, we have a fix for it, and we just don't have enough people to actually test it so that we can actually update it.
Yeah.
And sometimes
There's
there's
a
other
small
issues.
percentage. There's like 10% that maybe are really, at this point,
They're too
no
old
longer
anyway.
too old, or
Whatever.
it really was not right thinking the way they were handled. But
This
that's
is a
small-
demonstration
Yeah,
of
on the whole,
Ustream
people like
Producer.
me,
Yeah.
That's kind of my job, is to go through and periodically like triage and say, this is really not pending anymore. This is either closed, or this has to go
Or this
back,
isn't a bug and we
or
don't
this
want to
isn't
do
a bug
it
and
the
we
way
don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So that's, or,
Yeah.
that's kind of my, because I'm the tracker team leader, and that's my job, is triaging in the tracker. So,
But regardless, we've got a lot of things that are
Such a
actually
powerful
fixed,
job.
that have gotten through all the hard part,
yeah.
and just need to be testing. Now it's possible
This is a
that
demonstration
so
of
have to
Ustream
Sometimes
Producer.
it's really hard to test things. It's really hard. But sometimes it's just like, okay, I closed this div. That was over.
Right, yeah. And they usually will have, they're supposed to have little test instructions
Yeah.
on what you have to do. So you do need to be able to apply the patch, which if we get that full testing going, it'll make it 1,000 times easier. But,
What's the last to do to get that
now I'm looking at it.
done?
I haven't looked at it.
This is a demonstration of Ustream Producer.
Someone has to look at Ann's photos.
Are you still doing it?
I am.
I mean, we're fine.
It was easier when
It needs to get official so that it's maintained by itself.
No, but that's the thing, nobody wants anything new to be.
yeah, oh yeah, I go to the sites, I look at it, make sure there's not too many ads on it, make sure it's
Yeah,
Are the main developers in England that started Joomla?
Australia.
Australia?
That's why we.
This is a demonstration of Ustream Producer.
But it's from Australia, that was your background.
Non-vocal.
Well, I can tell because a lot of things are spelled incorrectly.
That's the word.
Spelled wrong. But
Well,
how come when you install it, it's Great Britain English?
Well, you can switch to American.
Yeah. But because Great Britain is the official language.
Yeah, Great Britain is the official, but there's some, and US is, you know, that first screen you get, it lets you choose a language. You
Yeah,
can choose American.
I choose American, but then the only
This is a
language
demonstration of Ustream Producer.
how do you spell
No, wait, no, when you install, no, we don't know.
Between installing and
The install, you have to install the American language. You can't just, no,
But you know,
There is, but it's not in the.
no, stop. Do you guys understand how language installation works?
Yeah.
So language, the installer installation is only for the installer. You then have to go install a language pack for the front end and a language pack for the back end, but most of the time they're packaged together.
This is a demonstration of Ustream Producer.
US.
and the only ones that come
You
with
go to, what you do is you go to, in the extension manager, you go to the install languages tab, which has been present since 2.5.6.
but
And
how would
Nice
you,
to know.
like, for the English,
So
Great
that
Britain
was-
one, it's EN-EN, okay?
no, it's the end dash G.
G-
Great Britain.
Great Britain.
is-
EN-US is the American one.
Should it maybe have a US distro?
This is a demonstration of Ustream Producer.
Okay, when I installed Falang and tried to put in the United States one, I had a conflict in there because it already had the.
that was something different. That was the EN for what the image
For the
was.
image of the flag.
The image of the flag.
Yeah, I think we kind of,
That used to be not have to be unique, and then at one point somebody threw in a thing that said it has to be unique, and they had not bothered to put different ones.
for all the different
For all the
variations.
This is a
variations.
demonstration of Ustream Producer.
There's like so many Spanish ones.
Right. And so
It used
that's
to be
where
there were a lot
those
of
came into
German
the
ones,
EN
but they
and the
unified.
So that was the issue I
That
had, I
was the
guess, was
issue.
with the flag.
Yeah, with the flag, because you had a multilingual site.
Yeah.
So multilingual is like a different thing. But no, there is a maintained EN-US package. There's a guy, George of Texas Instruments. Well, it used to be default, yeah. A lot of people know it. But now that it's,
The install the defaults to US.
This is a demonstration
But then
of
you're on British
Ustream
once you
Producer.
get to the back end,
but
Yeah.
now that we have this easy language installer,
Okay.
which isn't in yet. Oh, no,
it is in.
I'm sorry, the other one.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Javier's.
no, it is. That's Javier's part one is in.
But part two is
Part two is not.
because you've still got, you know what, so you see what happens is you've got the British one when you install, or sorry, English one when you install, and then you've got the British one once you get to the back end. Well, you can figure it out. But imagine for somebody that is doing it in,
This is a demonstration of Ustream Producer.
really wild, but let's just say German or something. Just to make it easy.
Mongolian.
But that was what I was saying, Mongolian.
I used to always use Mongolian for my testing of language stuff because it has a lot of issues.
So let's say you're doing it in Mongolian, right? Whatever, and you can get through the install fine because you pick Mongolian, and as soon as you hit administrator and go into the administration, you're in English. Well, yeah, you're in English, and you have to make your way through the English in order to install the Mongolian package.
This is a demonstration of Ustream Producer.
Going into 3.1 is something where you can actually install the language pack for the administrator and front end as part of the installation itself.
So what Javier did, this was one of the summer code projects this summer. So he had to shoot, this is what I was saying, part one, part two. So the first thing he did was this thing now, there's this tab, install languages in the extension manager. And you go to that tab and you get a list of all of the, what is the word they use?
This is a
All the
demonstration
accredited
of
language packs.
Ustream Producer.
And You can install any of them right there. You don't have to go to
You don't have to go.
No, it's right there. There's a complete
And
list.
that's working in
It
2.5.
works. It's in 2.5
right
and
now.
3.0. It's in 2.0. If you're on the current 2.5.
Now, if you're going to install an alternate language from the installer, you're going to have there's going to have to be some sample data per language, or
You can. Language translation teams have 3 things they can do. There's definitely, to be an accredited hack, they
This
have
is a
to
demonstration
install
of
the
Ustream
backend
Producer.
strings. But then they have the option to do help screens, and they have the option to do sample data. So, but the thing is, you can't. That's why we have, like, the language communities have their own packaging. They're the only kind of authorized alternative packagings of Joomla because they come with the sample data already installed and the correct help screen server already installed for their language. And so if you went to like the French Joomla
This is a
French
demonstration
community, you
of
could
Ustream
download
Producer.
the full package totally in French without having to do anything.
I think this is true also for Farsi.
Yes.
There's like the right to left and all that stuff. It's all
Well,
set up.
it's up to each translation community
Right.
gets to decide like how much. A lot of these translation teams are teams of one person. So it's a big one. That's one reason. One of the motivations for simplifying. Among many others, the reasons to simplify.
This is a demonstration of Ustream Producer.
Is a big reason.
I just watched your video, by the way.
On sample data.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched it like 2 weeks ago.
You agree with what we? I was
There's
fun. That was a
heck of
fantastic
a lot of
session.
articles,
Yeah.
sample data. Yeah.
There's not a lot of articles. There's a lot of categories.
Oh, is it categories? I know. I'm always deleting.
I wrote a Google Summer of Code application when I was still in college.
I remember, and I've been thinking about it. I was thinking because about that application
This
you
is
wrote.
a demonstration
exactly,
of
now we're
Ustream
ready
Producer.
for it. Now we're totally ready for it
I
because we
called them
have the.
flavors.
You did. You wrote. I was thinking that's exactly what we want to do because we want to have downloadable sample data. So when you install, you can pick from, 25 different sample data sets.
Blog or e-commerce sample
Yeah.
or just so
Yeah.
lots of different
That's our
settings,
goal.
styles.
So
There's a couple in there right now, just to
yeah, but
a
they're
couple.
not. They're in the package.
Yeah.
They're not remote.
Right.
So what we want is because we can't really add. It would be ridiculous to add more.
This is a demonstration
to the
of
actual
Ustream
package.
Producer.
But part of with Javier, the way he's, when he has the language part finished, so that'll mean he's going to XML on Joomla.org and installing language files from there because we're not sending all the language files out, right? But when you pick your language on that field, it'll automatically pull down the right language packs. So once we have that, then that's the model for sample data.
So like a sample data repository.
Yeah, there'll be a repository very similar to what you talked about.
This is a demonstration of Ustream Producer.
Exactly, and then I don't know if you haven't looked at 3.0 yet.
I'm going to run back to my hotel and make a repository marketplace right now.
We
Data repository. Sample
Andy
data
and I
repository.
somehow got in charge of the templates. Well, Kyle made the templates, but we got in charge of kind of being able to decide some things. And so one thing is, we all know one of the worst things is this header issue, this header image issue in the Joomla default templates with the Joomla logo, which no one
This is a
wants.
demonstration of Ustream Producer.
Obnoxious, actually. So, but one of the, and we talked about that in the sample data workshop that we did in Germany. But so we have now 5 header images in the images folder that you can substitute for really easy. You can just go because both templates now have a header image parameter. So you can just browse, and it's 5. Diane actually made Diane's photos. And
So
This
sort
is
of
a
the
demonstration
yes,
of Ustream Producer.
This is like 200 miles closer to and the background too. We have because you can pick the background color you want. You can pick the header image, and you can upload your own, obviously.
So it might not be
we have,
anything
like,
that you
5.
guys are going to do.
Yeah,
but
you're
it-
not going to. Yeah.
But it would be that somebody who is just going up there to make their own little site. Oh, I heard I could make a little,
I had an idea
site.
with Kyle. I said, why don't we make a template style for each header image that's already selected?
Yeah.
Because then we can do we could have someone who knows how to do colors.
This is
select
a
the right
demonstration
background
of Ustream
color.
Producer.
There's 2 color options in ProtoStar. There's the background color, and then in
Which is the new
like,
default
the new,
template.
yeah, and then there's I call it the highlights, but it's like the links and the submit buttons that so it's like if we had someone who really knew color to pick those two colors to go with the header images that we have, it would.
Why don't you just buy Color Schemer and they have?
Well, no, you could.
Really
Someone could do that. There's a lot of people in the world who have Color Schemer.
This is a demonstration of Ustream Producer.
Oh yeah.
Someone can.
Diane could do it.
Diane could do it. We can bug Diane. That's a good idea.
But the other thing that we did with it is she actually gave us 20 of them, and they were
Yeah.
all great. So we're talking about wanting to take the other 15 and put them in a place where maybe, and actually on this one, maybe where other people would be able to
contribute.
Are they in the wiki, like the hex codes or something like that, or the color combinations?
No, these are the images.
Oh,
These are the actual images. But yeah, you could do that too. If you've seen like Boots Watch,
This is a
that's
demonstration
like
of Ustream
already
Producer.
Put together like some bootstrap. Yeah. So I think it would be. I think this. It really puts us down the road in terms of that audience of people who just want to be able to make a nice looking website for themselves. You know, we're really going down that road. We started 3.1 will be even further because we'll have more of these options.
This is a demonstration of Ustream Producer.
It's evolved.
See, like I need someone.
Oh, Joomla people, right? I don't know if that's still popular or I haven't logged in in a long time. But
Yeah.
I know that was really popular when it first started.
What's that one?
It's a Joomla people site. It's a job social network for Joomla.
Yeah, it hasn't been used as much. You haven't been able to sign on for.
Right now it says it's closed for new registration.
Yeah, it's been that way for a little while.
I think they're kind of content.
It was really fun when it
This
first
is a
started.
demonstration of Ustream Producer.
It was a big deal. It was very
And then it got kind of a little poisonous. And then,
well, all job social sites eventually do more work than that work. Yeah, true.
it is a lot of work. And it's like, it is a little bit like, why do we have to reinvent the wheel
Right.
in terms of a social? I mean, unless we really were going to do it.
Well, it gave the community members a profile page other than just
This
which
is a
is nice.
demonstration
Yeah,
of
that is-
Ustream Producer.
Twitter,
Yeah.
Facebook page, and all that.
Well, maybe what we just need is that that's
That's
to
what
the
we need.
form. I don't think there isn't a feature right now, but add that.
You know, I don't know.
That's a big thing.
What was that?
Okay.
Little break, we're done, I think. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, wait, one more thing.
Holler at us if you got any
Thank
more.
you.